Hello and welcome to another episode of the Golf Underground. In today's episode, we're going to take a look at my top 5 training aids for putting. Let's check them out. Before I show you my top 5 training aids, I want to go over a little bit about why I picked these 5 training aids for putting. For myself, I found that these 5 training aids provide as much feedback as possible when I am practicing to know whether or not I'm using the training aid properly and getting the most out of my stroke. When you're looking at a training aid, you want to make sure that you understand how to use it, as well as it providing ultimate feedback that helps you develop your stroke and hole more putts. So let's take a look. Coming in at number 5 is the Pressure Putt Trainer from Putt. This is a really good training aid that I like to use that helps me define whether or not I'm using the right speed for when I hit my putts. When you take it out of the box, it comes in a nice compact form so it can easily fit in your golf bag and be taken anywhere. Can be used on a putting green, can also be used at home on a carpet. On the bottom, if you flip it over, comes in with these nice little spikes, helps it stay in place. So to open it up, all you do is lift the ramp up. There's a little plug that goes right in the middle there, and you have a nice training aid, simple. This white pad comes in multiple different colors. What it does is it signifies the size of a golf hole. What this ramp does is this shows you whether or not with the speed that you hit that putt, you would make it, or if it would lip out. If it goes up the ramp and rolls back to you, it would go in. The distance that the ball rolls back to you is how far that ball will go by the hole if it were to miss. So as you can tell, or as you can see, the faster the ball's rolling, the narrower the top of the ramp gets. Thus mean the smaller the cup size becomes as the ball's rolling faster. There's a second level to this. Right here, there's a little nub that you can push down and challenge yourself to see if you can get the ball to finish up right here in, little glory hole right here. What? Don't call it that? Why? Tell me later? Okay. All right, so not gonna call it that. So what we want to do is we want to hit a putt and have the ball rest right here in target hole. Can I call it that? Okay. If you hit it with the wrong speed, it's not going to settle in there, but if you hit it in the right speed, it sits right in there. And let me tell you, it is tough. But that's why it has made my list, because it does show you and provide great feedback on your speed and how well that ball would either enter the hole or if it would lip out. Let's move on to number 4. Coming in at number 4 is the Pro Slider Putting System from Eyeline Golf. Why I like this training aid so much is because it gives you both a visual feedback and auditory feedback. It creates a putting rail system in which you want the shaft of your putter tracing and staying on the rails throughout the stroke. Now, for me, myself, I do have a tendency to take the putter a little outside on my backswing. So what this training aid allows me to do is it allows me to maintain contact between the shaft of my putter and the rails, and if I do it the right way, you get that auditory feedback. If I try and make this stroke and I come off the rail, there's no sound feedback coming at all. Now, if you have a tendency to take the club a little bit too far inside, you just reverse the sides of the rail and the putter goes on the inside, and then you do the same thing. You can hear that feedback. So as you're using this training aid, you want to make sure that you listen for the feedback. And as you're using this, it also trains your stroke and letting the shaft go straight back, straight through, which creates a natural arc of the putter head for you. So this comes in number 4 on my top 5 list. Thanks. Coming in at number 3 is probably the most difficult training aid I have on the list, but at the same time, it's the most satisfying when done the right way, and it provides probably some of the easiest feedback right away. So this is the Vizio T-Line Putting Aid. It's a relatively thin piece of metal. It looks like a T. The ball sits up here. There's a little impression, little hole that the ball rests in. The objective is to have the ball travel down the rail and exit all the way at the end. If the ball exits the rail on either side, that's an indicator that your club face is either open or closed. Now, depending on the severity of the open or closeness of your putter face at impact will be determined by where the ball exits the rail. The further down the rail the ball exits, the more square your putter face is to the intended line. If the ball falls off the rail right at the start, your face is relatively closed or relatively open at a high degree. So we want to make sure that that ball stays on the rail all the way until the end. We also have 2 holes on the edges that we can place tees in there to either secure it in place when you're out on the putting green, or you can create a little bit of a putting gate where it can encourage centerness of contact on the putter face as well. The more the ball's hit in the center, the more likely you are to have that ball start straight and hold its line a lot truer. Also at the top you can see we're kind of 2-colored, white, black, white, black. That's a little bit of alignment aid to help you make sure that your face is staying square to your target at alignment, or at address I should say. So that is the Vizio T-Line putting aid. Kind of like using it. Coming in at number 2 is another training aid by Vizio, and that is the mirrored putting gate. This is a very, very, very informative training aid. It's a little, as you can see, it's clearly mirrored, so as you place it on the ground, you're going to be able to see your eyes over the putt. How this works, as you can see right at the top, where the little circle is, that's where the ball's rested. That's where we start. We do have a target line right down the middle. We want to see the ball travel and roll down that intended line. And as we start getting down to the edge, you see these little kind of metal looking dots. What those actually are those are magnets. And what they do is they have these little magnetic metal nubs that stay up on their own and create a little bit of a putting gate for you. Ball starts here, we roll it down, and we want to miss both of the metal nubs at the end. Now you can challenge yourself from extremely difficult, where the gap is very small and narrow, to a little bit wider, where you got a little bit more wiggle room to squeeze the ball through. Now they also have stabilizers on the sides as well for tees, and this training aid again gives you really, really good feedback, just like the tee line, on how well you're able to start that ball on your intended line. The mirror also allows you to see your eye position over the ball, whether they're too far outside the ball, inside the ball, or just over the line. That is the Vizio mirrored putting gate training aid. Finally, on to the number 1 training aid for my game. All right, we're here. The number 1 putting training aid that I feel is out there right now that you can use for your game right away, and that is the Eyeline Small Mirrored Putting Alignment Aid. This little mirror, this little tool with so many different lines provides so much feedback that it's something that I use before every single round of golf that I play. It's very easy to use. The amount of feedback, it's visual. You can feel it, you can see it. It just helps you get your alignment set for the round, and it lets you groove it the right way. So how this works is, the ball will sit on the ground right there in between at the start. We can create, if we want, a putting gate with these 2 slots right here. Again, I really enjoy using a putting gate because that allows me to find the center of impact in the putter every single stroke. If I happen to get a little off path, I'm going to hit one of the tees on either side. The mirror part, now what I can do is I can see my eye position in relation to the ball at setup. Why this is important, because this is allowing me to create and feel that position for that day. These extra slots on the back allow you to control the length of your backswing. As you get into the shorter putts, you can move a tee a little bit closer. As you get longer, you can move a little bit further back. Now we have these little red lines. These also allow you to keep that putter moving on a nice consistent path back and through the putt. I have my balls marked with a little bit of a blue line. So what I like to do is I like to just line that blue line up with the black line behind, make a nice stroke. As long as I can see that ball rolling end over end and I miss both the tees that I've created through the putting gate setup, I know I'm hitting hitting some putts pretty well for that day and gets me tuned up and lined ready for that round of golf. And as you can see too, it's pretty worn, so it's used a lot. I actually have two of these. I have one that I use here at home in my basement that doesn't go anywhere, it stays down here the whole time. But I also have one that rests and stays in my bag, so that way I know I always have it and I can always get out on the green and practice. So there we have it. Those are my top 5 training aids for putting. Now I am going to put on in the description below the links to the websites on where you can go and find these items. Some of them are a little bit more pricey than others. I'll have added those in throughout the video. That way you can take a look. But again, when you're looking for a training aid, make sure that you understand how it's used. It's providing the feedback that you're looking for, and you can use it and see results. So there you go. Next time on the Golf Underground, we're probably going to show you what some of these drills that I use with these training aids look like. So until then, stay safe, stay healthy, and hopefully we'll see you on the course in no time. Take care.